Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to play with target practice for artilleries. According to my camo, at least. We're going to play with Strv 10712. And this battle right here, what you're watching, was actually my second battle ever in Strv. And this is how I like to play it whenever I have a chance. To play it aggressively. Not sniping, but using the armor, using the bouncing angles, and just taking the DPM up to the enemy faces. Just look at that, you know. 50B had a little bit unfortunate piss break, I think. Was a little bit late to the battle and already has been farmed fully. There is Hori. Unlucky, hit the upper plate. I'm aiming at the lower plate, which I can penetrate, but the shot the second time in a row goes into upper plate as well, so kinda unlucky. So let's slap this guy a couple times. And this is what Strv can do, guys, actually. If there are not too many big guns, like massive calibers that can automatically overmatch you and actually have to aim a little bit to penetrate you, then you can use your armor to the absolute limits. Tank next to me, E4, got ammo wrecked, so that scared me a little bit, but hey, you know, we don't have to pull back yet. There is Hori looking at us, or was looking at us, not anymore. Badger is trying to run away. I'm trying to hit the tracks. I did critically damage it, but 390 Alpha many times does not track with a single shot. So a couple shot into this guy. Type 5 Heavy is bouncing a shot on my upper plate because one thing that was actually buffed on Strv 107 compared to the 103 was the armor. It's got 10 millimeters of armor in some places. On some places actually more armor. And this thing is bouncing unless you hit the middle of the gun or the area right behind the gun actually. Which is the weakest when you have bigger caliber. For example, I'm going to show the armor model as well after this. For example, even 60 DP can't overmatch me anywhere anymore. For example, 60 DP even can't do that. Previously, Strv 103B, if you had like big enough of a caliber, 150 plus, then you were simply able to aim that guy almost anywhere and get the penetration. But this is not the case with Strv 107. It is like a perfect successor for 103, I would say. And the long story short is, if you do like the 103B, who just shot at me, by the way, long story short is, if you enjoy Strv 103B, you are going to enjoy this tank as well. At least, this is what I am doing. It has extra ability. You know, it has the Pillbox ability, which makes your dispersion like fully aimed in all the time. It makes your dispersion even better, your accuracy even better. Nice sneaky angle over here. Oof, we were cooking in this game, guys. We were absolute top chefs, better than Gordon Ramsay even. We were cooking. But talking about Pillbox, it makes your DPM through the roof, it makes your accuracy through the roof, but mobility is 1 kilometers forward, 1 kilometers backwards, and also you lose the traverse speed, so it is very slow. Basically like a standing still Pillbox, as the name says, but you're able to slap them very fast, very often, right? That's it. I have used it, I think I have played something like 25 games with it. I don't know, maybe less. I have used it twice. If even that. I would say the Pillbox will be used or should be used by you as well in some very specific situations. When you have on a tunnel map, you have one tunnel to defend and you are able to snipe from the back, or when you know that you can sit in the bush without getting spotted and slap them this way. Like, for example, let's say if I would be over there at the Badger's place, like if enemy team is pushing in and I would be at the Badger's place, I'm like somewhat, I'm like lower plate, able to hide my lower plate, which is actually a weakness of this tank. and able to shoot everything that is pushing in or peeking. In this case, yes, you know, but most of the times I am not going to be using it. 90 to 95% of the times, the standard siege mode. What you also get on Strv 103B is enough. So it has in total 3 different modes. Pillbox, the siege mode, just like Strv 103B has, which makes your vehicle a lot slower, but it gives you the gun depression movement, it gives you the accuracy, aim time, all those boosts. And over here we did one very, very beautiful play actually coming over here, but sadly there are just too many enemies to shoot, too many enemies to snipe. There is Type 5 heavy. Because we were getting flanked, and that repositioning was like one of the best plays I've ever made in World of Tanks, guys. Look at that, you know, just picking up tanks left, right, and center. There is Type 5 as well, please don't bounce. And Type 5, now that's an unlucky shot, guys. That is an unlucky shot. And boom, you dead as well. Strv 103B. The tier 9 over there is actually slapping me left, right, center because, you know, this guy doesn't need to focus at anyone else. I was keeping an eye on the... While I was aiming at the Strv 103B, I was keeping an eye on the ASXX as well. We have 8,000 damage done. Didn't hit the commander hatch, sadly. Hit that. Unbelievable. Too many tanks. There is Hori coming. Can I get that kill? Yes, I can. And just like that, I was going down. I tried my best over here. I tried my best, but the enemy Strv was a bit too much to handle. Like, that guy has just a bit too good of a gun to handle. And the sides, like on all the Strvs, if you angle it even a little bit, it can be overmatched by absolutely everything. What happened in this battle as well. So together with the blind shot, 9,978 damage done, 4.5k bounced, 7 kills, 441 assistance, ace tanker for a defeat. You know, sometimes doing a lot of damage is not enough for the win, but this is how it is, right? So how I'm rocking my Strv, this is my current setup right here, right now. There are many setups that work, guys. Turbo, Rammer, I would say is these two equipment units which you want to have. The third one you can experiment. Hardening, ventilation, stuff like that. You know, but Turbo and Rammer, I would say, is the kind of a must-have things over here. Turbo boosts your mobility in the siege mode as well, so you do want to keep that. Now, talking about the upgrades, another very positive thing about this vehicle is that it does not rely on the upgrades. This tank is good right out of the box, guys. The upgrades, of course, are nice. You know, the first thing, concealment after firing, that is absolutely useless on every tank because it boosts it by 10% on the value you already have. So 0.53, so plus 0.053 camo after firing, that doesn't do much in all honesty, right? You can see this over here. But the ability upgrades are all for the Pillbox, which I said will be used like 5, maximum 10% of the battles, for me personally at least. Of course, the upgrades are nice. They boost your standard and special shield penetration. You get a couple more hit points. You get top speed, engine power, all those things. Yes, it doesn't make your tank worse, of course, but as I said, it is still awesome and cool right out of the box, guys. So it has the same alpha, 390 alpha damage. That, by the way, does not get boosted. Your penetration gets boosted, but your alpha stays the same. But it has, you know, upgraded other stats. Sadly, we still cannot see how the siege mode affects this vehicle. Actually, we have to go to the third-party site for this, but the 4.6k DPM with my setup over here, 57 top speed, 50 moving backwards, so the mobility is still awesome. Camo, as you can see, even without The any camo boosting equipment units is quite nutty. You can move around stealthily as well, and with the coated optics I can be more frontline-ish as well and spot for myself, so this is why I am personally using coated optics on the main setup. If I get the upgrade and if I get the secondary equipment build, which is where is it? This is consumable. This is the secondary equipment build, right? Yeah, loadout. I may put the hardening or ventilation setup, depends on the matchmaking, right? So it is a DPM and accuracy monster, but you know, sadly, we still don't have the siege mode button anywhere in the game. For that, we just have to go to a third-party site to actually see what the hell is going on, right? So let's actually go over here, and if I click this button, you can see how it affects. It makes your tank super accurate. It removes all the dispersion on the turret, tank traverse over here. Of course, your mobility is weaker, but 10 and 10, guys. Space is very, very nice. And as I said, the turbo over here boosted to 15 and 13. So this is amazing. Like, actually amazing speed values. Gun accuracy is epic. You can, of course, with the cruise skills and food, you can boost it even more. So this is awesome. But still, as you're going to see, it can miss some shots, as you saw already, and as you're going to see in the next battle as well. And so this is what the siege mode does. When wargaming, by the way, when are we going to see this button in the game? Like, to actually see how a vehicle mechanic affects our tank, right? Now, we talked about the armor upgrade, guys. You can see, so versus itself, it's very bouncy, right? It has a lower plate, so you can't raise your tank too much. You can't start hiding your commander hatch too much because you're going to reveal a lower plate, which can be easily penetrated in that case. But if you're angling like straight forward, or if you're peeking a reach line, this armor upgrade helped this tank a lot. As you can see, this is the Strv against the 60 DP AP round, guys. 750 alpha slapper, right? It is not auto pen everywhere, guys. Even the lower plate on the flat ground is a ricochet. So you can penetrate still around the gun over here, the commander hatches and the edges. But that means you actually still need to aim in your shots, which, you know, is quite an upgrade. As I said, Strv 107 from 103. B is like a logical next tank with extra feature pillbox mode that will be used quite rarely, right? Armor? We don't even see armor over here. We do see armor. All right. So this is it. You saw one battle. Now let's play one live battle as well, and let's see how that goes. Enjoy! We can play in many ways. We can play in the middle aggressively as well. We can play like this line over here, slapping the heavies. We can play here, slapping the hill. And we can keep it simple and play over here. Let's load HE. There is a lot of plays we can do. On this map. Very many plays. So, let's choose this at first.
Enemy shields penetrated. We did not pierce their shields.
All right, they have a light and quite close. LT there, watch out.
We hit the enemy.
What a sniper. Completely different battle. This is like more of a sniping map, sniping battle. Compared to the Westfield action. It is a different animal, but you can play aggro even over here. Yeah, I think the light tank is... Well, that was such a bad play by our light tank. That was very bad play by our light tank. And because this match only had one light tank, this is going to be a problem now. Big problem. But thanks to the random event, it actually may not be that devastating. Yeah, I needed to retract that shot. Oh yeah, this IS-7 doesn't know how lucky he is actually. Light tank is here. No, there's something else there. Yep.
Enemy shields damaged. Penetration.
Let's try to keep that permat, even though it gets hidden. That did not track again. Hirschkäfer. AP. Did he hit my... Actually, what the hell did he hit on me? But you can see, like, this tank in the sniper mode, right, is giga accurate. And even then, you can miss shots. So that's why I have been saying that, like, boosting your accuracy on very accurate tanks, even more, does not really affect it, like, in all honesty. Because if the RNG takes over, there is nothing you can do anyway. There is nothing you can do anyway. If we get this light tank out of the match, we still have a chance. That's going to be a bounced here. Maybe we do have a chance, maybe we don't have a chance. Okay, spotted CS. Who gets away, Sandley?
We didn't even leave a scratch. Enemy shields damaged.
Nice. We are the only ones with eyes over here.
We pierced to the enemy shields.
We are the only eyes our team has. That IS-7 push forward is good for us. Of course KR1 you hit that, huh? My lower plate.
There's a problem with the engine.
Because why not?
Enemy shields penetrated. Ready to strike. We're not tracking them anymore.
KR1, can you miss a shot, please? Can you miss a shot, please? Yeah, well, you know, this is Prokhorovka with a single light tank. 4.4k, one blind shot, some assistance. You know, I could have farmed some more damage, couple more shots if I pulled back earlier in this game, but I was the only eyes in the middle, so I really didn't want to fall back. Fall back equals more damage, but staying over there with some eyes, at least a chance to do something greater. Overall, I really like it. Like to play it more aggressively. This is just what excites me more about this tank. And this is another vehicle that is actually, as I said, good right out of the box. It doesn't rely on upgrades. It doesn't need the upgrades that much. The top forward speed, the top reverse speed, all those are nice. engine power and whatnot, and your abilities only boost the pillbox, which I use like maybe 5%, maximum 10% of my battles anyway. So yeah, the pillbox is like I don't know, like ability, but it is not very helpful, let's put it that way. It's helpful in like some very rare cases, some very rare situations, at least to my playstyle. So yeah, if you like Strv 103B, you most likely, I cannot guarantee it to you, but most likely are going to like this tank as well. I enjoyed it, playing with it, and it's quite a beast. It is quite a beast. Thank you very much for watching, for tuning in, and I catch you next time. Bye bye.